Aloha, I'm McKenna Maduli, your host for PTC-TV. Welcome to the second episode of Executive Interviews, Daily News, and a look at what's happening today. If you missed yesterday's program, you can watch it online at ptc.org/PTC20. Enjoy the show. PTC'21 is made possible in part by the generous contributions of our sponsors. Mahalo to each of the PTC'21 Platinum sponsors. Thank you for your support.
Good afternoon, everyone. Aloha. Welcome to PTC-TV. My name is Eric Handa, the CEO of AP Telecom. I'm honored and delighted to be joined today by Gary Smith, the CEO of Ciena. Gary, welcome to PTC-TV.
Thanks, Eric. Good to chat with you all today.
Thank you. Gary, we have a few questions that we wanted to interview you today. And the first one is, network providers have faced a new set of challenges this year with changing dynamics, with remote working, bandwidth intensive applications such as video and gaming. What role do you feel that subsea operators are going to play in addressing these new requirements for reliable connectivity?
Well, I mean, I think, we've seen it in all its many facets. It's kind of upended, people's lives and changed it kind of dramatically around the globe. And connectivity is more important than ever, as we've all found out. And, I think the subsea customers are about 90% of the internet traffic. So pretty much it goes over the subsea systems. So it's become more critical than ever. And I think the important thing is that, largely speaking, that infrastructure has held up incredibly well. And I think largely for the investments that have gone on across the industry ecosystem over the last few years. And I think specifically, the ability to adapt and move capacity around and reprioritize has been critical. And, that's really been a sort of bedrock of Ciena's architecture, the adaptive network, which was really designed for this kind of an occurrence, if that makes sense. And I think the latest generation of technology that's coming down, we're now shipping 800 gig, and I think that plays a key role in ramping up this capacity, and that's WaveLogic 5, which is the new technology we've just launched, and we've got 65 customers, many of which are in the submarine space. And we've shipped about 5,000 units year to date in our first kind of year of it. So there's plenty of capacity going out there.
Outstanding, Gary. Our second question is about specifically this year in the coronavirus pandemic. Has been a fundamental and permanent shift in remote working and virtual meetings. For you specifically, Gary, as the CEO of Ciena, what has Ciena done to improve the way that you collaborate with your team and your customers on a domestic and global basis?
Yeah, we've all had to adapt. We have, since the pandemic started, we've got about 95% of our team been working remotely since this pandemic kicked off. And, because of their dedication, and because as well, we were a little bit fortunate in that we'd invested heavily in our IT systems. We were in fact one of the biggest users of Zoom prior to Zoom becoming what it is. So, sort of 2 or 3 years ago, by happenstance. So, and the model that we have is very distributed around the world in terms of, a flexible workforce. So, for us, it was challenging, but perhaps not as challenging, for others, but as it has been for others. So, I mean, I think, we've been able to continue to deliver on our roadmap and to our customers. And really, that's a testament to the whole sort of, Ciena family and ecosystem and partners and our engagement with the customers. We really haven't missed a beat, either from a supply chain point of view either. We've got a very adaptive supply chain that was able to meet all of the demands. So, it's been challenging for everybody, but I think, we've been able to navigate through this. And as I say all the time, businesses are always about people. And I think that's never been more so than the case this year. It's put a lot of challenges around people, and they've had to step up and, in uncertain circumstances, and they've performed, generally extremely well. And I'm very proud of the team and being able to support all of our customers. And some of those changes I think will stay with us. I suspect that we won't all be traveling as much as we have been in the past. Though it sure would be nice to get back out to PTC soon. I'm looking forward to that. Maybe in 22. I hope, really, hopefully in 22.
Outstanding. Gary, since the last time you were with PTC-TV in 2017, a lot has changed. Ciena survived and thrived with the tough economic times going back to the global recession. And you specifically talked about new rules in a different marketplace for the new CEO. And some of these concepts that you laid out were best of breed, scalability, thinking more about people than technology, agility, responsiveness, transparency, and openness. I'm wondering, given how crazy 2020 has been this year, what has changed? And a follow-up question to end the interview, what are you personally looking forward to professionally and personally in 2021?
Well, and I think, the elements that I talked about in 17, were really about, I think the world's moving to best of breed. And I think, companies need to understand, the value that they're delivering in the broader marketplace. And you really have to be, the best in the world at what you do, basically. And I think that's particularly the case on, the provisioning of infrastructure. And, we are very focused on being the best in the world at moving optical bits. And that's not changed. That really hasn't changed. And we'll continue to invest heavily in that. And I think the second element is around global scale. When we're in a global industry, the submarine business, there's nothing really more global than that industry. And you've got to be able to have global scale to deliver to your customers. And that's really what we've been focused on, doing and growing as a business. And again, this focus on people and relationships and playing for the long term. These relationships on the infrastructure side, as we all know in the subsea space, these are long-term plans that get executed, right? And I think that also forms itself into relationships, where you've got to be able to have trust in your partner for the long term, that they'll continue to innovate, they'll continue to support. And that's, very much what we're focused on, in the last few years. So, that strategy has not changed. I'm very enthusiastic around the industry and the long-term secular demand. I mean, it's been a really tough year, as we know, for everybody. And, our strategy, even in these kinds of times, is to invest and in some ways invest more in the downturn. which is what we did in '09. You know, we acquired the assets of Nortal, a big chunk of that, at a time when, you know, big global recession. And then we've invested heavily this year during the COVID piece, both in go-to-market, tech support, and also, you know, continuing to drive the innovation and leadership. And so, you know, I think in these times of uncertainty, you know, if you've got the ability to invest and you have confidence in the market, then over the long term, you know, that will play through and benefit you. Second part of your question, in terms of what I'm certainly looking forward, having said all of that, to get through 2020. I really, you know, I think we'd all be very happy to see that behind us, frankly, and to start the new year, the 2021, and PTC is a big part of kicking that off. So, you know, we're delighted to be a part of that, even be it virtually. So, you know, from my point of view, I'm looking forward to getting these vaccinations out there, and like everybody else, getting to some degree of normalcy, you know, hopefully as we go through the year here. You know, it's I think there's light at the end of the tunnel. Then I think that's super important for people. Seriously, I think, you know, there's something to work towards now. We've got, you know, some challenging months to get through, I'm sure, but, you know, I think it's all knowing that there's some, you know, perspective around getting to some degree of normalcy, you know, as we go through the year here. And, you know, listen, I think, you know, in many ways, what's happened is the on-demand, you know, economy and industrial revolution has been accelerated by what's happened. You know, in a big sort of global experiment, we all had to go home and you know, use the internet basically for everything, Zoom, you know, like this as well. And I think, you know, that has put stresses and strains on the economy, and has accelerated, you know, a lot of those changes, some of which will stay with us, you know, I think as well. But I also think that, you know, when I say this as a sort of real technologist, enthusiast, at the end of the day, we're social animals, and I think we're all looking forward to seeing each other in person and having a cup of coffee, and in my case, a cup of tea and a glass of wine together. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Outstanding, Gary. Well, we look forward to seeing you in 2021. On behalf of PTC-TV, I want to thank you, Gary, for your time and insightful responses. And we wish the entire submarine cable and telecom industry a healthy and safe 2021 to you and your families. And once again, thank you.
Thanks, Eric.
The PTC Hub, the exhibit hall in the online platform, features PTC-21 exhibitors, PTC-TV, a literature display, and more. The PTC Hub is open to the public Sunday through Wednesday. Come learn, meet, and network with conference attendees in the PTC Hub. Connecting with the PTC community is easy. Follow PTC on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. Join the conversation and use #PTC21. We can't wait to see what you're learning, who you're meeting, or the experience you're having. Welcome to What's Happening Today at PTC'21 for Monday, January 18th. Thank you to everyone who joined us early this morning for the Submarine Cable Workshops, sponsored by SubOptic. As always, the submarine cable sessions provide insight into the industry capped with a telegeography workshop. We hope you also enjoyed the opening reception sponsored by Peraton for a unique experience to gather as a community before the heart of the PTC-21 program begins with today's featured participant sessions. PTC-21 will welcome attendees with remarks from PTC CEO Sharon Nakama and Tim Logue, the President and Chair of the PTC Board of Governors. Kicking off today's series of sessions is riding the tidal wave of new realities with a distinguished set of C-suite industry leaders picking up the conversation from our September PTC webinar series, Frictionless Business. The second session this morning will explore the impact of COVID-19 and industry implications by looking at the explosive growth in telework, distance learning, and other bandwidth-intensive services. Data infrastructure brings global executives together to discuss trends driving the demand for more data center infrastructure. The presentation 5G plus AI plus IoT Beyond Magic will look at how these innovative technologies will be monetized, looking at 5G value propositions and business models. An interview for cloud computing via satellite will examine how new technologies, business models, and ideas drive satellite to mainstream telecom adoption, with cloud computing as a key SATCOM driver. Innovation and digital transformation, the challenges and opportunities for service providers will consider how to stay ahead in a hyper-competitive market by delivering new levels of agility and customer centricity with a diverse partner ecosystem. A panel discussion, diversity and inclusion as a business imperative in our new reality, will focus on how to address structural and systematic issues facing companies and employees in the wake of the tectonic shift brought on starting with the #MeToo movement through the Black Lives Matter protest of 2020. A distinguished panel will discuss how COVID-19 and 5G have changed infrastructure demand and requirements in transformations in data center and network infrastructure development to wrap up the featured participant sessions for Monday. Be sure to join our panel for the topical session, Interconnection and Next-Gen Services Platforms. Women in attendance are invited to the PTC-21 Women's Reception, sponsored by Paul Hastings in the PTC Networking Lounge. PTC-21 continues to offer a packed schedule. If you missed any of the live sessions, please remember they will be available on demand in the online platform within 48 hours. PTC-TV is also available in the PTC-21 platform, in the PTC-TV exhibit booth in the PTC Hub, or online through the PTC-21 Media Center on ptc.org/PTC-21 with executive interviews and daily news segments. Thank you for joining us for What's Happening Today. We'll see you tomorrow with more details and insights for Tuesday, January 19th. Join PTC and opening reception sponsor Peraton in the Tapa Auditorium for a fun networking experience to kick off PTC-21 New Realities from 9:30 to 10:30 on Monday, January 18th. You don't want to miss this. PTC-21 is made possible in part by the generous contributions of our sponsors. Mahalo to each of the PTC-21 Gold sponsors. Thank you for your support. Did you know that Pacific Telecommunications Council is a global, nonprofit membership organization that works year-round to advance the ethical development and use of information and communication technologies, ICT, to improve the quality of life in communities throughout the Pacific region? Learn more at ptc.org/outreach-initiatives.
Every day, businesses around the world are being challenged to do more, deliver better experiences, empower workers. That's why connectivity has never been more important to thrive in an increasingly digital world. At Telstra, we're focused on connecting global economies to Asia, enabled by our people, innovative technologies, and partnerships. And likewise, connecting a fast-growing Asia to the rest of the world. Telstra has Asia's largest subsea cable network, carrying up to 1/3 of the region's internet traffic. In China, Telstra PBS is the first foreign telco, combining local delivery with world-class expertise. Telstra enables you to thrive in Asia and beyond. That's why, when you think Asia, think Telstra.
Join Paul Hastings and the women in ICT for a networking reception to discuss the initiatives and activities the PTC women's community has planned for 2021. Make new connections and get involved. The PTC Women's Reception will be held on Monday from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. in the PTC Networking Lounge. The PTC Academy introduced a virtual format in 2020 that allowed attendees to join from across the globe. In addition, it was the first year that Academy courses were accredited for continuing education thanks to a partnership with Subdel Forum. Stay tuned for the 2021 PTC Academy courses schedule. Visit ptc.org/academy to learn more. PTC’21 networking lounges are the online component to a hospitality or business suite. Visit the networking lounges between your PTC’21 sessions to learn more about the companies participating, schedule a one-on-one meeting, or to attend an event. Be sure to join us in Tapa Auditorium for PTC’21 featured participants, workshops, and topical sessions that examine the new realities of the telecom industry.
Welcome everybody to our next executive interview. I'm John Atkin with RBC, and I'm pleased to spend the next couple of minutes with Sridhar Reddy, the Chairman and Managing Director of CtrlS. Welcome, Sridhar. I'd like to ask you a couple of questions about the Indian data center landscape, where you're obviously a major player. First off, if you could maybe share your thoughts on what's driving the global hyperscale revolution.
John, thank you. Thank you for inviting me for this event. Hyperscale revolution is driven by, my view is that it's driven by the connected devices. There are over 25 billion devices, as per Gartner, are connected today across the world. And experts predict it will be 30 billion devices in the next 2 years. And we are reaching almost 300 billion mobile apps downloads in the next couple of years. All of this is producing data every minute, and it has to sit somewhere, and hyperscalers have become the favorite choice. Even though the private cloud is also growing, captive data centers are still existent, but the hyperscalers have become the favorite choice of enterprises across the world. And hence we are seeing the growth much more important or bigger than the industrial revolution that we have seen in the last century.
So obviously a lot happening right now around the world over the past 12 months with the pandemic and so forth. Can you maybe touch on how recent global trends have affected your expansion plans?
The pandemic, there was a huge lockdown for almost 3-4 months in India, and all our projects were stalled. But the positive news is that we have seen a lot more bullish customers asking for larger capacities. And our team, despite the lockdown, has managed to stick to the deadlines and are able to deliver the project. And during this pandemic in 2019, we started 2 new campuses of 200 megawatt critical load each in Mumbai, and Hyderabad one is almost in the final stages of planning. And during the same time, our teams have finalized plans for 15 data centers in tier 2 cities of India to serve as connectivity hubs and switching stations for all content providers, cloud companies, and telecoms. During the same time, we also finalized a plan to go international. And we have shortlisted a few countries. We will announce them shortly to set up hyperscale data centers across Southeast Asia and in a couple of Middle Eastern countries as well. And during the same pandemic, our team also finalized the solar energy producing plant, CtrlS Renewables Limited. It's a new company, a new team, new management team which has been established to deliver green power to our data centers.
Great. Maybe following up briefly on that kind of environmental topic, how do you mitigate the effects of a larger carbon footprint as data consumption is increasing at such a rapid rate? What's your view on that?
I know that data centers are seen as the major energy guzzlers and are seen as an environmental threat by a few. But for those of you, I wanted to submit one thought that the data centers are serving the data revolution. They are not the cause of the data revolution. And if the data centers would not have been there, these hyperscale data centers would not have been there. And if the data was being stored in smaller, server rooms across the world in different companies, we would be spending at least 10 times more power than what is happening today. And having said that, hyperscalers, all data center operators are in a responsible position because they are handling such huge volumes to make sure that they contribute to the environment of this world that we live in and create a positive contribution towards the same. CtrlS took it very, very seriously. And we established this, as I said, we established a separate company. We built all our data centers. We have 8 data centers now. All of them are LEED Platinum certified. All of them won the most energy efficient awards for continuously for the last 8-9 years. CtrlS has become the most energy efficient data centers. They consume 15-20% less electricity than the competition. We have done several innovations. Over 100 plus innovations are done for the sustainable, to building the sustainable data centers. We built the latest data center that we've done is having 1.2 megawatt solar power plant on its facade. It's a solar panel wrapped building. The latest one that which has won recently the Golden Peacock Award for excellence in environmental management. And zero waste management has been being rolled out across all our data centers. And by the year 22, we have committed to supply at least 50% of our data centers consumption, energy consumption will come from renewable energy, which has been again produced by a subsidiary of CtrlS.
Great. And maybe just in the last couple of minutes, given your kind of aggressive growth plans within the hyperscale, serving the hyperscale demand in India and beyond, as you mentioned, what are some of the remaining priorities to think about for CtrlS, apart from the environmental one that we talked about, and then some of your in-country expansion? What are the key areas of emphasis that you'd like to leave us with?
We follow actually 4S framework. One, I talked about sustainability. That's one S. But the other 3 S components are strategy, speed, and superior quality. The strategy that we adopt for hyperscalers, we realized that it has to be completely different from the data centers that we have been building so far for large enterprises, banks, and telecom and content companies. Hence, we formed a separate unit within CtrlS, solely focused on catering to the needs of hyperscale customers. So there's a joke that for every customer we have 20 dedicated people. In that hyperscaler unit, and the whole management is completely different for the hyperscale needs, to meet the hyperscale needs, and the strategy is very, very different. The teams there are from different industries, finance, environmental, regulatory, apart from the regular engineering folks. And the thinking is very different, which is to cater to the needs of these hyperscale clients. And then speed. The speed with which we do the projects is of extreme importance to these hyperscale customers. So a recent project that we have done is we finished in about 7 months. 4 months, 62-meter tower was constructed in about 118 days, less than 4 months. And especially manufactured building, we call it as, and whole data center was finished in about 7 months. Now, these are the speeds that the clients are demanding. No longer those days where you do a 3-year plan and build and test your data centers and get it ready. It is the expectation, current expectation is less than a year, and CtrlS is fully geared for the same. And these hyperscale customers have become much bigger economies than most countries in the world, I guess. And their reputation means everything to them. A small mistake in a data center costs these clients billions of dollars. Hence, there is a huge focus on the quality of the superior quality of the data centers that we built in, which puts a lot of pressure. I mean, CtrlS has proven this successfully for many hyperscale clients. With its in-house teams, we've done acquisition of some consulting companies. So the complete design engineering team is in-house, and CtrlS has experts to not only design, but also make sure that every component which goes into the data center meets the highest quality standards which are needed by these hyperscale customers. So this is the way that CtrlS is planning to or executed the hyperscale customers and satisfied their needs.
Well, that's a very comprehensive overview. We covered a lot of ground in just a small number of minutes. Unfortunately, we are out of time, but I appreciate your answering these questions, introducing us or giving us an update on CtrlS, and look forward to seeing you next time, hopefully in person.
Same here, John. Look forward to see you soon.
TM is the largest integrated ICT solutions provider in Malaysia. We are constantly developing advanced infrastructure coverage across Malaysia through our extensive fiber optic network and comprehensive mobile solutions. As a trusted partner in end-to-end connectivity and ICT, TM would be honored to be part of your journey, and we will always be there to make your business and the lives of your customers easier.
Want to get involved with PTC and learn more about membership? Stop by the PTC booth in the PTC Hub. Chat with our members, learn more about PTC membership benefits, and maybe even win a fabulous prize like Apple AirPods Pro, Waverly Labs Ambassador Translator, or PTC membership. The PTC webinar series, Frictionless Business, will kick off again in February 2021. Webinars will be hosted the third Wednesday of each month through November 2021. Industry leaders, investors, analysts, technologists, and academics will provide guidance on new trends and priorities in the industry. PTC is excited to announce that 2021 PTC Webinar Series will be brought to you in part by PCCW Global. PTC’21 is made possible in part by the contributions of our sponsors. Mahalo to each of the PTC’21 silver sponsors. Thank you for your support. Aloha everyone and welcome to beautiful Waikiki. I'm McKenna Maduli here with Jeff Yedlin, the food and beverage director here at the Hilton Hawaiian Village, which we're so used to gathering for PTC.
Indeed.
We know you all are missing the tapa bar right now, and we are gonna make you a Blue Hawaii brought to you by Tier Point that you can enjoy in the comfort of your own home. Jeff, are you ready?
I am ready.
Because I am ready for a Blue Hawaii. What you gonna make? Here we go.
All right. So the Blue Hawaii for us is a very special drink, just
Okay.
like PTC. Both of which PTC, which started here, the Blue Hawaii started here at Hilton Hawaiian Village.
Cool, good
So
to
if you
know.
think of something that's known for Hawaii, it's one of the most common drinks across the globe, and it was done here by our own bartender Harry Yee back in 1957.
It's amazing.
And so what the folklore is there's a company called Balls. They make a bunch of flavored liqueurs and stuff.
Right.
And in Harry's case, they came to him at one point at his bar, the Haw Tree, just down that way, and said, what drink can you make using blue curacao? And he came up with the drink, which years later now, they're very popular for.
Very neat. All right, what are you starting with here?
This is just some sugar,
Okay.
just to add some sweetness to it. And what we're gonna do first is make a fresh sour, which is equal parts lemon and lime, and sugar and water.
Very easy to make. And again, the recipe is up for you right now. You guys can make this drink along with us. Very simple ingredients.
Simple indeed. And you could always at a store buy just a sweet and sour mix, but if you can grow these things near you,
Fresh is best. Fresh is
why
best.
buy it in a bottle?
All right, we're going with half a lime here.
So I'm gonna do a whole lime,
A whole
but
lime, okay.
start with a half a lime.
Nice.
And that's just because you get less juice out of a lime than you would a lemon.
Is that true? Okay.
Yeah, they're just bigger.
There you
Lemons are
go.
bigger.
So we're not getting to the blue yet. We got some lime. What's coming up next? Lemon.
Just a little bit of lemon. This is your sour mix.
Nice.
Okay, so we got some sugar, we got our citrus. We're just gonna add a little bit of water to it.
A little bit of water, but what was that?
Water.
Teaspoons?
About an ounce.
Okay.
And then, you're in Hawaii, you have to have pineapple juice.
Have to have pineapple
Have
juice,
to.
right?
Yeah, so we're gonna just do 2 ounces of pineapple juice.
Nice. I had no idea. And then we are gonna do.
And then we go to the good parts.
Tell us what you're using today.
The parts. So today we kept it with Hawaii. So we have over here ocean vodka, which comes out of Maui,
Sweet. Okay.
and it's just an ounce.
All right. We already know we want 2 ounces in this one, but 1 ounce is the recipe.
Sorry.
There you go.
Could always go heavier, but because you're using more liquors, you want to keep it balanced.
Got it. Got it. What's this next one you're using?
Then the next one we're going to use is Balls, which is the original liquor from the recipe. And so that we're just going to do 3/4. This is what gets it the blue color everyone, you know, is famous
Loves
for, that you remember
Those
from the
photo ops here.
photo ops, exactly.
Very cool. I love it. We can bring the magic of Waikiki right into your home.
And then a
These.
cocktail in Hawaii wouldn't be the same without a rum. This one here is from Maui as well.
Cool. What's it called?
This is Lahaina Light, but they
Okay.
make a dark and a spiced as well.
All right.
And we just do an ounce of that.
Looks nice and layered there.
And yeah, you could do it that way if you want.
Cool. And then the shake's coming up, I
And
feel.
the shake is coming indeed.
Very nice.
Bear with me.
Now, can someone make 2 of these at one time, or is it better to go drink by drink?
You could do 2 because it's the same ingredients.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I just have to stock up, you know. Nice shake. Can I get anything ready for you?
We're just
Yeah,
gonna put some ice in there if you'd like.
Oh yeah, sure.
Thank you.
There we go. I like my drinks nice and cold. All right, here we go.
Thank you. And then just to make life easier, we're gonna just stick that in now.
Thank you for being so careful there in this time. Moving around. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that looks delicious. It really does already. You haven't even poured it yet.
As I make the mess, of course.
Don't
but
worry.
there's plenty in the cup
That's
for
like
you.
me every day.
Every day.
So pretty. I love that color. Every day. It's all good.
And then we add our Hawaiian orchid,
Yay!
and then you have to put a cherry on
Got
top.
to. Orchid, cherry, that seals it up?
Yep, and you could also add a pineapple if you wanted because of the pineapple juice, but not necessary.
Oh man.
Unless somebody is hungry, of course.
I'm drooling. This is all for me?
That's all for you.
Ooh, all right,
Cheers.
everybody at home, cheers to all of you. I'm gonna taste this real quick. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you,
You're
Jeff.
welcome.
All right, cheers to all of you, and we'll see you soon. This is really good. All right, aloha. Discover Hawaii. dance, mix a blue Hawaii cocktail, watch Chef Kevin prepare a delicious ginger scallion salmon. All of these videos and more are available on demand in the PTC Cultural Experience Networking Lounge. Stop in today. PTC’21 is made possible in part by the contributions of our sponsors. Mahalo to each of the PTC’21 a la carte sponsors. Thank you for your support.
Here are your headlines for Monday, January 18th. Barcelona CLS will become the destination of high-capacity fiber optic submarine cables of Asia, Africa, and the Mediterranean. It will be an open port and will come into operation the first quarter of 2022 with the aim of being the digital port of reference in the Mediterranean. As we continue to grow, JSA's industry-focused public relations and marketing expertise in the European market will rely on Juju's talent and leadership to create a new level of insight and content for our industry, further strengthening JSA's multiple ways to get our clients and industry news heard. The Suboptic Foundation, launched by the Suboptic Association, is a charitable organization with legal entities in the USA and UK, focused on supporting education and research initiatives designed to lay the groundwork for a better future for the subsea cable industry and the global communications fabric as a whole. Pacific Telecommunications Council announced the continuation of its 2021 PTC webinar series, Frictionless Business, now exclusively sponsored by PCCW Global.
We were excited, therefore, when the team at PTC asked if we'd be willing to sponsor, and when they came up with the view to do something around frictionless business, we thought it was really fit to us like a glove.
A very special mahalo to the 2020 PTC Board of Governors for their year-round leadership and support. PTC would like to take a moment to recognize the 2020 Advisory Council for their support. Mahalo to our year-round sponsors for their ongoing support. Mahalo for watching. Be sure to watch tomorrow's episode right here on PTC-TV. Aloha.
Welcome to a new era that ends the hassle of having to deal with multiple service providers. Presenting CM iConnect, your connect-all carrier solution. iConnect gives you the most optimal telecommunications solutions that cater to diverse business needs. Featuring all-inclusive services from voice, SMS, mobile, data, China Connect, and professional services. Take your carrier business to the next level with iConnect today and enhance your connection to the world.